But anyway, the subject matter of this discussion, which is largely comprising or comprised of Bhaktisiddhanta's own words, which I feel are appropriate for this time. But before I embark on the sojourn through those words, I would like to just mention a few things. Purnachandra Prabhu described how Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati in his Krishna Lila Sarup is Nayan Mani Manjari. So, of course, many times different classes of Vaishnavas, and they in various ways want to deprecate the transcendental position of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakura, criticizing him in various ways, mainly due to the fact that many times in Bhaktisiddhanta's preaching, he would press on some points, some pressure points, let's say. There's a thing called, a type of treatment which is called acupressure. So sometimes if you press on a point which needs the most attention, it's that point that hurts the most, isn't it? So sometimes he would press on points that would hurt excruciatingly. And of course, in the immaturity of you can say, development of the Krishna consciousness of certain individuals, they would take this hurting, this pain, as a sign of malice. So, rather than understanding that any good was to be gotten from the association of such a straightforward and honest sadhu or preacher of the principles of Rupa and Raghunath. Bhaktisiddhanta is known as Rupanuga Apasiddhanta Tarani, isn't it? That he couldn't tolerate any apasiddhanta or any conclusions which would go against the conclusions of Rupa Goswami. So, Rupa Goswami, as you know, you must be knowing, is the Gaur Lila avatar of Srimati Rupa Manjari. The Manjaris are the most intimate maidservants, devotees of Srimati Radharani, and thus it may be also said that they are the most intimate devotees of Shyamsundar, Krishna. Shyamsundar shows unfathomable mercy and special attention to the devotees who are 100% surrendered to the services of Srimati Radharani. You may remember an incident at Radhakund when Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati and his disciples were visiting, and he was preaching also there. He held some classes there. But during that period of time, I will read an excerpt from one of those classes in a little bit. But during that time, his disciples and he himself were walking along the Radhakund Parikram Marg, and they saw the Maharaj of Bharatpur and his Rani doing Dandavat Parikram of Radhakund. So one of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada's disciples told to Bhaktisiddhanta that, oh, just see, they must be having great devotion for Radharani. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, as Purnachandra said, he would surprise his disciples sometime. So he explained that actually not so much devotion to Srimati Radharani. He said that there was a difference between their approach to Radha and Krishna and our approach to Radha and Krishna. They worship Radharani because she happens to be the favorite girlfriend of Krishna. So, therefore, they have to offer a little regard to Radharani, recognizing that fact. But their focus is on their aspirations to serve the lotus feet of Krishna. But as far as we are concerned, I'm paraphrasing a little bit because I can't remember the quote exactly, but as far as we're concerned, we will only have anything to do with that rascal Krishna. He didn't say rascal, but I'm saying rascal. We'll only have anything to do with that blackish boy, Krishna, because he happens to be the plaything in the hands of Srimati Radharani. Something like that. So, it so happens that he's the necklace around Radharani's neck. So because we have everything to do with Radharani, inadvertently, you can say subsequently, or happenstantially, we have anything at all to do with that blackish, debauchee, Shamsundar. So anyhow, in this he expressed that it is our supreme and bounden duty. You can say transcendental duty. It is not a duty as per the principles of Vaidhi, but it is not that the Rag Bhaktas are not dutiful. They are supremely dutiful. And the Manjaris, out of all the Rag Bhaktas, the Manjari maidservants of Srimati Radharani, and particularly and especially the Manjari maidservants of Srimati Lalita Devi, who has two principal maidservants. Rupa Manjari is her Mukhya Manjari, and Ananga Manjari is her Upa Manjari. So these two Manjari maidservants, to become the Dasi Anudasi of these, in the matter of intimacy, in the loving service of Shri Radha and Krishna, it is the highest essence of all dutifulness of the jiva. although we will also read some things which will show Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati's disposition toward the other devotees in other rasas. He never disparaged. But at the same time, we have to recognize his own internal disposition, which very often comes out in his preaching, to the extent where no one can go away not understanding that Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakura is one of the greatest, most intimate maidservants of Srimati Radharani. No one can go away with that understanding. But because some Vaishnavas felt the pain of Bhaktisiddhanta's pressing on certain needed pressure points in the matter of the, let's say, goings on in the Gaudiya Sampradaya, for lack of a recollection of a better way of saying it, nicer way of saying it, I could say shenanigans. But anyhow, they have a tendency to find fault with various aspects of Bhaktisiddhanta's life and his way of presenting Krishna consciousness, which we're not going to get into very much at this point. One of the things is that they claim, because many, especially in certain Babaji successions, they claim the all-importance of Siddha Pranali Diksha as the process, the only process by which one can enter into the realm of Braja and attain the services at the lotus feet of Radha and Krishna, without which they claim that if anyone is not having such, then they have no access. And therefore they consider that such apparent branches of the Gaudiya Sampradaya are useless, that they are not connected, so to speak, with the powerhouse. So, but we have a couple of answers to this question. First of all, in the matter of the cultivation and also the preaching of the Rag Bhakti, which is preached. It is not that it is only something which is, mumbled privately to oneself in seclusion. But the principles of Sambandha, Abhideya, and Prayojan must certainly be preached. Because without preaching, without making it known, then how will anyone understand that it is there to be had, at the feet of the acharyas in our sampradaya?